Welcome to Loup TV. I'm Gene along with Andrew for Friday, February 18th. Our topic today is Peloton. We are not going to be talking about missed earnings, new guidance, new CEO, or what John Foley is up to. We're talking about product innovation at Peloton. And I want to give everyone a quick warning. Both Andrew and I do use a Peloton, and Peloton users can be quite annoying. And we will keep it as to the facts as possible here. And the general topic is just how they're evolving the products and the experience and doing some creative things that are worth noting and maybe a nod to where they're going to take this longer term. And specifically, the product is called Lanebreak, and Lanebreak was just added this week. It's an experience. And Andrew, why don't you just tell everybody what it's all about?
Yeah, in short, it's Peloton, along with everybody else, it seems, is entering the gaming space. Netflix, Zoom, you name it. But that's a bit of a misleading headline. The bottom line is they launched a new product called Lanebreak that is a game mode where instead of the typical instructor leading a class of people, either live or recorded, there is a wheel in front of you that you control with your resistance knob and the cadence of your pedaling. And so you're kind of in this game mode, listening to music that has 3 different types of challenges throughout the game. I did a 20-minute ride that was pretty fun, and we can walk through the puts and takes and the strategy. But the bottom line is they've introduced a new mode of Peloton classes for the cycling in a game mode that kind of gamifies and it makes exciting the whole typical workout experience.
And just a little bit on the play itself and the structure of the game is that you're a wheel. There's 4 or 5 different lanes in front of you, and it is it's similar to like Guitar Hero. And there's music that you pick from artists that you know, and they have these different kind of goals that you try to hit, change your lane and try to capture these different points, and then you get a score at the end here. And maybe this is not a product review video, by the way, but we're just going to talk quickly about the product. You said you liked it. From my perspective, I think it was novel. There was some questions that I had just around how long the classes last. Are they all 20 minutes, or I did a couple of them. Are they 10 or 20 a piece? I wasn't sure how long they were to be. And I think that there's a little bit of a learning curve. And when you have a 10 or 20 minute session, you typically work out for, it's called 30 minutes. It does feel a little bit kind of fractured. And I was curious, did you feel the same way, or you just do your 20 minutes and you move on?
I did. Yeah. I didn't know how long the class that I selected was. And when I went back, it actually does show there's 5, 10, and 20-minute long Lanebreak games that you can play. But I think that Peloton is trying to do something where you stack your workouts, is the word that they use, but shorter workouts that vary it between different types of workouts. Or even after a cycling class, you'll do a cool down for another 5 minutes. I don't like that stacking thing. I want a workout. I want to do it and be done with it. And so I agree with you that they're short, although I'm not sure I'd want to play a 30-minute game of Lanebreak, which is kind of my wheelhouse.
That's probably one of the challenges with gamifying exercise as it gets old.
Right.
And overall, did you get a good workout?
I was surprised. I was kind of skeptical. I did the training that kind of teaches you the different game modes and how to use the resistance knob to change lanes and be in different lanes. And
by the way, I failed training and then I just went and did it live and figured it out. But keep rolling those. You're surprised.
The user education I thought was pretty good. I felt ready to go. And then I liked the music, the way that it syncs up with the game itself. It's perfectly synced. I found myself getting a harder workout than I thought I was going to, because you've got to be in high resistance lanes sometimes at a high cadence. So you're working pretty hard at some points of the game. And then by the end, they're kind of cooling you down. And it followed a pretty typical path of a Peloton workout, just a totally different visual. So
Mhm.
I was pleasantly surprised. The bottom line for me is that I'll try it again. I'll do it again, probably 1 in every 10 workouts. I'll play Lanebreak.
I would agree with that. I don't think it's as good as a just ride workout that they have where you just kind of have the screen going, or a other workout. And part of the reason is that to get points, sometimes you have to power down, and you may not want to be powering down.
Ah,
And so let's take to, and I'm probably in that same camp, probably 1 in 10. Let's not, now that I say that, just that having
yeah,
the
you
points
think
up
you
there,
will
there's
do
a,
it again?
yeah, there's a number up there just because I like having those numbers. That is a motivation. Like, now I got a high score, I want to try to beat my high score. You can do it on the normal Peloton too, but it just feels with having points a little different than when you have your output or whatever it be. Let's get to the A topic here. Just beyond, what does this mean for Peloton?
Well, what's cool is that Peloton is clearly a modern connected fitness company delivering customers more value with software updates.
For
It makes me
sure.
think of an iPhone or a Tesla,
Right.
where they're
Easy
taking
comparison.
an antiquated device and connecting it to the internet, delivering great hardware and software. And I think there's a real opportunity. I love to see them innovating with this new game mode. I think they're doing other things like the scenic rides that are guided, sometimes not guided. There's, they hit and they miss, and that's what we
Mhm.
want to see from an innovator. So I'm generally positive on trying new things and Peloton being innovative with stuff like this. I hope they continue to push into it.
I do too, and I think they can make some small adjustments to the bikes to make the games much richer, much
Mm,
more rich. And just using the your resistance is, feels like sometimes it's too much work to take your
yeah,
hands off the handlebars, and you want to just work out. You don't want to go and mess around with this. But I was kind of imagining on the handlebars if they had like toggles where you could
right.
switch a lane over, or just something right at your hands. I mean, talk about a first world problem to have or to
Well, I
solve
was
here.
curious. So I have a bike. Gene has a bike plus, I believe, which can automatically change resistance depending on the instructor's requirements. Did you find that, or was there a setting that would allow for lane break to automatically go in the right lane?
No, I don't know is the answer. Now
Do
I'm
you
curious to
use
see.
the resistance
Never used
automate
it.
feature? Okay.
So, but it'd be a fun thing. I bet there is. I bet you can do that. So, a good thing to look into. And I would, from my perspective, I think it's an easy, straightforward, and agree with you. A correct analogy between taking hardware and making it better over time. No other fitness company does that. There's a question about how big of the fitness market is. People are lazy; they don't want to work out. Then they don't want to spend $1,500 on a machine and $50 a month. And setting all of that aside, I think the company still has an incredible opportunity, and the fads around fitness are going to change. It's biking and tread today. Yoga is pretty popular. Who knows what they are in the future? You can kind of probably dream it up. But I suspect that they're going to kind of dream up some of these other workouts. I bet when you're talking about Peloton, I think they are going to be around in 10 years. And I think when you're talking about it, we're going to be reminiscing about the bike, because they probably have some totally other unique way to move your body that they're innovating around. So it's not all bad news at Peloton. They're still making great products, still getting the products that they have a little bit better. And I want to give you a final word, Andrew.
Well, I guess the final word would be that we love when companies try new things, and I think there should be a certain failure rate. This was, I think, a worthwhile experiment, and I wouldn't call it a failure. I think that they will
Mhm.
continue to iterate on lane break and similar new features and deliver new value for the same price, which brings this kind of virtuous cycle that we look for in tech companies. So I'm optimistic.
Optimistic. We are not investors in Peloton. Wish them the best of luck on behalf of Andrew, Gene, and Loop TV. Bye for now.